Alexander decides to swallow the potion in the bottle labeled "Drink Me" to see what happens. Suddenly, his vision fades to black. His lungs become too heavy to breathe. His heartbeat slows. Then beats no more. Suddenly, his heart takes a lurch, then beats strong. His chest heaves like that of a newborn. His vision clears, and Alexander feels fine.
Phew. For a minute there, I thought, what if someone else had seen me and thought, "Zounds!"
The spoiled egg has a slightly yellowed shell that bulges in spots from the pressure of the gases inside.
Oh, so there you are, handsome. What can I do for you now?
A black widow is sitting in her web. She has long legs and an hourglass on her belly. She gives Alexander a knowing look.
Have you changed your mind? My offer of dead wedlock is still open.
An intricately detailed spider's web has been spun between a pile of books and a small tree. An intricately detailed spider's web has been spun between a pile of books and a small tree. An intricately Alexander wouldn't want that to get caught in the spider web. Alexander offers the item to the Black Widow.
No, no, thank you, you sweet man.
Alexander is carrying a human skull filled with embers. The embers are cold. Alexander Alexander pulled. Alexander. Alexander exchanges the embers in his skull for more red-hot embers from the fire. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb. Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam! Phew, the smell of sulfur! Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull containing the embers and the spoiled egg. Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it! Come on! I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the humans so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell.
Now ride!
Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly.
Who are you, grieving spirits?
I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Caliphan. We were murdered in our beds by our trusted vizier. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken, and he will not speak.
Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Cassima?
Our daughter! Have you news of the princess?
I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak. But I'm afraid I have not personally seen her. Alhazred is keeping her in her room in mourning for you.
I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her.
Cassima, how I fail thee.
My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger.
I came to take you back with me. Your people are still loyal to you. They need to know about the Vizier. Cassima needs you too.
But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it. Nor, for that matter, can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead. But he would never help us. He has no mercy.
I might be able to convince him. I must try.
Then take this. It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here. And if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained.
Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all.
Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful.
I will do my best. Goodbye, Queen Ilaria.
The ghoulish animated bodies of the undead roam the haunted landscape.
Who are you, poor undead creatures? I see. How interesting.
The gloomy path narrows as it approaches a sinister-looking skull. The luminous moon casts a glow over the strange, dark landscape.
Ali! Where is my little boy? Ali!
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest? I cannot rest. My son is lost.
Lost? You mean in this realm?
No. His spirit is stuck in the land of the living, probably looking for me. But I cannot leave to go show him the way. My poor Ali.
Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Ali.
A monstrous skull looms at the end of the twisted path. The passing spirits are all heading for it as though it were a magnet. It must be the entrance to the underworld. The skeleton to the left of the path hands something to the spirits that approach the underworld entrance.
Take it, please. Next.
A strange skeleton with a long horse-like head and ceremonial armor stands at the base of the path to the underworld. He watches over new arrivals with a discerning eye, handing tickets to the spirits desiring admittance. A large bone keyring hangs from his waist. A large keyring containing a skeleton key hangs from the waist of the skeleton to the left of the path. It's unlikely that the skeleton would allow Alexander to just take his key. A uniformed skeleton stands guard at the entrance to the underworld. He takes something from the passing spirits and then waves them on into the underworld. Living skeletons are gathered around the entrance to the underworld. Alexander is standing at the entrance to the underworld. The entrance is a huge tendon-covered skull. The skull's mouth is the doorway to whatever lies below. Two solemn skeletons admit the spirits who seem to be drawn, trance-like, to enter the skull. A group of large bones form an interesting arrangement to the right of the path. Two smaller bones are propped up on the ground near the larger group.
Might I get one of those tickets?
The skeleton with the tickets must not approve of Alexander's less than ghostly looks. He refuses to give him a pass.
Might I get one of
The skeleton with the
I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please let me pass.
Tickets only.
The skeleton at the door seems quite determined. Alexander picks up the two bones on the ground. Now what do these bones remind him of?
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance. Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier. Alexander gears himself up for another round. The skeletons are overcome with the musical call. Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem... A key made of bone has fallen from the skeleton's keyring, and now lies on the ground. Alexander picks up the skeleton key. The ghostly ticket reads, "Admit 1." Alexander can see his hand right through the transparent ticket. Alexander is carrying the mother ghost's translucent handkerchief. Touching the ghost handkerchief gives Alexander a strong mental impression of the mother ghost worriedly searching for her lost son. The skeleton key is made out of small bones. The skeleton key feels a bit bony.
I have a ticket.
Go on. Next.
Apparently, Alexander's not the only one who's curious about the body on the path. The knight is wearing an old, tattered ribbon. It must have once meant much to him as a sign of his lady's favor. A knight's remains lie abandoned on the path. The knight, like Alexander, must have been alive when he entered the underworld, but for some reason he never reached his destination. Alexander wonders if this is the knight the Druid spoke of. A knight's remains. The knight is wearing one black gauntlet. There appears to be some writing on the gauntlet, but Alexander can't quite make out what it says. The ribbon is so old it would crumble at Alexander's touch. Alexander has no need for the old armor. He decides to leave the knight's remains as undisturbed as possible. Alexander has no need for the old. Alexander takes the knight's black gauntlet and examines the writing on it. Flesh may cross the portal and seek its master death. Flesh may go where death is trod and challenge, like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod to spare a mortal's breath. Zounds, that sounds serious. The iron gauntlet is a bit too small to fit on Alexander's arm. An ebony mass of liquid flows below the path. It must be the river Styx. The river Styx is an ebony mass of liquid, resembling black tar or melted black glass. Despite its incredible stillness, the river seems to have a life of its own. Alexander stands on the banks of the river Styx. The black river is as still as a mirror and gives off a penetrating cold. Charon, the ferryman, and his eerie ship wait on the shore to shepherd souls across the river. Charon stands in his boat, eternal ferryman of the dead. Alexander can't quite make out what's under Charon's cowl, and he's not sure he would want to. The spirits of the newly deceased make their final journey into the depths of the underworld. Charon's boat is an unearthly vessel. It bears a huge skeletal prow for slicing through the river Styx. Alexander is carrying an old, battered hunter's lamp. The lamp is empty. Alexander doesn't want to experiment with the organic surfaces of the underworld. They might not like it. Putting that in the river Styx would serve no purpose. The little china teacup is made of fine porcelain. The teacup contains swamp ooze. Alexander doesn't want... Alexander scoops a little of the river Styx into the teacup with the swamp ooze, being careful not to get any of the black water on his skin.
I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please, let me ride across the river Styx on the ferry.
Charon apparently has rules as strict as those of the skeletons at the underworld's entrance. Alexander is not getting on that boat until he gives Charon the appropriate fare. The journeying spirits seem to be in a trance and don't respond to Alexander.
Will these coins do as fare for passage?
Charon accepts the fare and waves Alexander onto the boat. Alexander reaches out to open the gate. Suddenly, the wood trembles beneath his fingertips.
What touch has awakened my sleep? I smell the blood of a mortal. Reach out thine hand again, fleshy human, that I might devour it. It has been centuries since I last ate.
I have this gauntlet.
That has naught to do with me, human.
I have this.
What care I? I am interested in thy bones, not in bartering with thee.
The underworld is creepy enough when lit. Alexander doesn't want to do anything that might extinguish those torches. Alexander already has a pretty good idea what that potion does, and he doesn't want to waste the rest of it. Despite his fear, Alexander summons his bravest voice to command the living gate.
I would pass, gate. I have business with your master.
My master and thine, human. I would be pleased to introduce thee. Only step forward and thou shalt meet him shortly.
No, thank you. I come to meet the Lord of the Dead with my flesh still intact.
And why should I let you past, human, when I would much rather eat you?
I have been told that there is a way for humans to enter Death's realm. There must be something I can do. Some task that will allow me to pass through your doors, gate.
I seem to recall something. A trick. Perhaps a test. Ah, yes. Should a human try to pass, a riddle is Gate's wont to ask.
A riddle it is, then.
And if thou wouldst fail to answer Gate, his thirsty jaws will be thy fate.
Agreed.
Listen as though it meant thy life then, human, for it surely does. My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
The answer is love.
Ah, thou traitor of the mortal plane! How didst thou guess love? That riddle should never have been solved. Love is unknown in this realm.
Love cannot be banished, even from this place. There are spirits still pining of it on the surface above. Still less can it be banished from my heart.
Enough! Burden me not with thy poetry. Pass through, and quickly, before I change my mind.
A narrow path is suspended over the Sea of Souls and leads to the throne of the Lord of the Dead. Alexander is standing in the hall of the Lord of the Dead. It is here that the spirits of the newly dead complete their journey and meet death himself. The servants of the Lord of the Dead stand silently at the head of the path to his throne. In the center of the great cavern, the Lord of the Dead reigns over the hosts of the dead. He waves spirits into the Sea of Souls in an endless stream. What things the spirits tell him are best unheard by mortal ears.
Excuse me, I'd like an audience, please.
The shrouded guards escort Alexander to the throne of the Lord of the Dead.
Why have you entered my domain, still wearing your flesh? If you are so anxious for death, you might have found it easily enough in the land of the living. But since you are here, you are most welcome to stay. Kiss my hand, and you will be one with the spirits. There will be no pain.
With trembling knees, Alexander stands before the Lord of the Dead. Beyond death and his throne, Alexander can sense the multitude of spirits in the Sea of Souls.
I seek a boon, my lord.
Why should death grant you anything, mortal? The will to live is strong, is it not? Never mind. I will reach out to you.
The Lord of the Dead's touch fills Alexander instantly with a numbing cold and blackness. Alexander can't talk to the Lord of the Dead from here.
Excuse me.
The shrouded...
Why have you entered my... If you kiss...
I seek a boon, my lord.
Why should death...
I did not come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. I respectfully challenge thee, death, by throwing down this gauntlet. Man may pass the portal and seek its master, death. Man may pass where death has trod, and challenge like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod, to spare a mortal's breath.
He has the gauntlet!
Impossible! He challenges death. Who are you to challenge death?
A man of flesh is all I need to be, my lord.
And what is it that you seek with this challenge? The soul of some dead maiden?
I seek the souls of King Califem and Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles.
You would save 2 human souls and emerge alive from this realm yourself? That shall be a difficult challenge indeed. The tomb does not open its doors lightly.
Either all 3 of us leave, or none go.
Very well. Then let me think of an appropriate task. Ah, yes, I have it now. Your challenge is this. For thousands of years I have sat upon this throne. I have heard every sad tale that can be told by human lips. I have seen tragedies that ended empires, injustices that defy reason, love that would light the very stars turn cold and hard. I have seen torments that cannot possibly be borne, and yet must be, for centuries. This thing I have never done. I have never shed a tear. Make me cry, thou man of flesh. That is my challenge.
Make death cry?
Sooner could he turn sea to stone,
Or fire to ice.
Perhaps a tale of my love?
There is nothing you could say of love that would make me cry, mortal. I have had Cleopatra and Helen of Troy stand before me, and they move me not. Your common desires mean nothing to me.
Perhaps a tale of my love?
There is
That small dagger will hardly stop death.
If your existence has been all that you say it has, then truth alone shall be my sword.
The mirror's surface swirls with darkness for a moment, then fills with images even blacker. Reflections of despair, of wailing souls, of shackles colder and more immutable than any forged by man, of a world of thirsts that can never be quenched. Alexander feels the mirror tremble in his grasp, and is glad that he cannot see its face. But the Lord of the Dead is transfixed to the mirror, to the screening of his life. Things long forgotten are once more uncovered. His enslavement to this throne while still a man, the years of watching misery and horror and growing ever more numb to it, the seep of his own humanity, the slow growth of a new thing altogether which became that which he is now. His is an existence that has no possibility of redemption, no end. The surrounding spirits draw away in pain. The truth is so sharp it stabs, so intense it sears.
Take it away. Make it stop.
The mirror of truth cracks from the strain, and death sheds a single gray tear.
Truth is indeed a terrible thing. I have worn this mantle for so long, I had forgotten its dreadful weight. You shall take the souls and leave as I agreed. You have been granted a stay from this inevitable reality. I almost envy you. Find the souls he has claimed, and bring them to me. King Califim and Queen Alaria, I presume. Your hero has won you a few more years of mortality. May your souls be more prepared for their rest when you return.
Thank you, my lord. I hope that they will.
And you, man of flesh, my steed shall take the three of you back to the land of the living. Tell her where it is you wish to go. Until we meet again, then, I assure you, we will meet again.
No offense, my lord, but I hope that will be many long years from now.
It is never as long as you might wish, mortal. Now, begone.
Yes, my lord. Are you coming, Majesty?
Alhazred's treachery must be handled carefully, Alexander. Alari and I must go gather our allies and form a plan. Watch over Casima. Make sure she comes to no harm. We will return as soon as we can to take back all that has been stolen from us.
I will keep her safe until your return.
Thank you, son. Your love for our daughter must be deep indeed for you to have undertaken death itself for our sakes.
Indeed. May we succeed in what awaits us, and live long together as a family.
Alexander pulls out. Alexander feels a Alexander can Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb. There's a natural opening in the rock near the nightshade bush. Alexander crawls through the small opening in the rock. Alexander finds himself in a dark cave. Alexander can't see much of anything in the dark cave. Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it. Alexander is standing in a rocky cave. The dim light of the tinderbox candle reveals a dank, musty place. But then Alexander's nose told him that much without the light. Other than a few bats, there doesn't seem to be anyone in the cave to converse with. On the wall opposite the cliffs is the vague outline of another opening in the rock. Alexander crawls through the opening in the rock. The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack. Alexander is standing in a second room of the cave. A natural window to the outside world provides a little more light here, and even helps clear the musty smell. The window in the rock is too small for Alexander to fit through. A plant grows on the grassy ledge. Smells like peppermint. Alexander takes a few leaves from the plant. As he does so, a strong smell of peppermint is released. Ah! The peppermint leaves are the color of dark emeralds. Alexander fingers a handful of peppermint leaves, releasing a strong smell of mint. This cave is too dark. Alexander should wait until he goes outside to try that. This cave is this. Dead end. Nothing that way. Alexander crawls back into the first room of the cave. Alexander can't. Alexander crawls back. Alexander eats the peppermint. Yum. Alexander can't.
Hello?
There's no. Alexander. The. Alexander. There's no reason. Alexander climbs carefully down. Oh no.
Whoa! 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 Ow!
There's no reason. Alexander. Alexander. Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges. Alexander There's no reason. Alexander holds out the rose, hoping that the bird will deliver it to Cosima. The nightingale takes the rose and heads for the castle once more.
A white rose, how beautiful! It must be from Alexander. How I wish that I could see him with my own eyes, but Abdul will never allow it. He only risks capture by sending me these things, dear to my heart though they are. Fly elsewhere, my pretty friend. Do not endanger Prince Alexander again by taking tokens from his hand. Forgive me, Alexander, and forget me. I cannot return your love, for fear that I shall never leave this castle again.
Alexander waits in vain for Cosima's nightingale to return, but the bird does not. Could there be something wrong? Or does Cosima simply not welcome his attentions further? Speaking the incantation would do little good unless there were a painted object nearby to Alexander dips the large black feather into the teacup and stirs the contents gently. To his amazement, the jet-black color of the feather slowly drains from end to tip into the teacup. The teacup mixture blackens and thickens to a paint-like consistency. Alexander carefully puts it away, discarding the drained feather.
Old lamps for new.
Good day, peddler.
Good day, sir. If you would like to get one of my fine new lamps, I'll need an old lamp in trade.
Isn't it a rather bad business?
Well, there's always a chance that I'll find a genie.